Hey folks, I'm Dieter Melhorn. Are you getting ready to fish your first catfish tournament? Well, you're gonna wanna watch this video because I'm gonna give you some things to do and some things not to do. Folks, in this video, I go fishing with one of the premier tournament fishermen in the Southeast, Jeff Manning. He's a buddy of mine. We were actually in the military together, bumped into each other a few years later fishing some tournaments, and he has a phenomenal record for catching fish, catching big fish, and winning tournaments. Most of the time, we've been fishing against each other all these years, but on this particular day, his regular partner was not able to fish with him. He gave me a call, and I jumped at the opportunity to go out and get on the boat with him and see if we could catch some catfish. All right, guys, we're set up on our first spot. Not that far from the ramp. We got 10 rods in the water. Some stained, dingy looking water out here. Overcast, a little bit of fog, chilly, right below 40 degrees. Gonna see if we can catch a fish. Boom, hooked up. Get him up above the stumps. Can't lose a 3-pound fish. Good net, man. Your anchor goes that way, okay. Yeah, pretty much straight down. Bigger than 3 pounds.
I can reach him out there where you hook me.
There you go. I'll walk him back to you.
Oh, okay. That's not a bad way to start. I've had worse.
There you go. Kabam! Bust the ice, baby, bust the ice.
Why do you do that?
It's got to be a fish with it. That's not the bluegill swim.
Oh no, it's not the bluegill.
He swam off of several feet to one side.
He's headed that way.
We got a live bait on, and it's moving. It's just not moving fast off to one side. Is it a really big fish or a really little fish trying to kill it and spin it?
He's went that way 20 feet already. He's dragging the sinker. All right, drag race. Which one are we gonna go over first?
That one's swimming off too.
That one there's going that way.
Yeah, we're getting beat. That one's going back the other way now.
Now it's going that way.
Dumb question. Where's your net?
On top of that.
Oh, okay. How many times has that thing fallen off?
Not anytime yet. Somebody mentioned it.
I did that. I put my net up there like I put it up there 3 times, and the 3rd time was the time it went flying off, bouncing on the boat. I go, okay, I'm not gonna do that again.
Okay, before we pull any rods in, set the net.
Where's the net? That's an upgrade.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe not. I don't know. He's about the same.
I'd say. Not a horrible fish. You know, to celebrate you being on boat, I reeled it the right way.
Did you really?
I reeled it actually real up.
You just didn't want to be in one of my videos reeling backwards, is what it is.
It's sort of my trademark now. Open up. Well, I ain't gonna take and touch you till you do this.
Boom, just like that. We got 2 in the boat. We got a limit. Just not the right size limit.
Hopefully he's coming straight to the boat, because if I turn straight, feeling nothing yet.
There you go, 10-minute rule in effect, and we get a fish. Is it any size?
No, that'll he come on. Or he's swimming at the boat 100 miles an hour.
We got us a net.
Feels like a decent little fish. He's trying to get on that side of the boat, of course. I don't think he's any size, but heck, who knows? I think he's just one that likes to swim. Look at that, same size as the other ones. Well, maybe.
He might be a little upgrade.
He's a little bigger.
Yep, he's an upgrade. We'll take him. Kaboom! That's a teener.
Yeah.
10-minute rule's back in effect.
Same rope, same rod as the last one. Same rod. So it looks like it's gonna be the special rod today.
Bang, we got an upgrade. The 10-minute rule was in effect. We were literally 2 minutes from pulling up and moving. So there you go. Good thing that was total skill though, and no luck involved in catching that fish at all. So we knew it was gonna bite before the 10-minute mark. Now we got lucky on that one. One of the things I asked Jeff is, what kind of expectations should a person have when they fish their first tournament? Obviously, everybody wants to win, everybody wants to do good, but what are some realistic expectations that you can have? Here's what he had to say.
First time tournament fishing, keep your expectations in check. Go out there, have a good time. You can't beat fresh bait. I mean, that you can buy bait locally, so you can't beat fresh bait. I always have a smorgasbord, a variety of bait also. Don't go out there with just one bait, because you just never know. Some days you may catch them on perch, the next day you can go to the same area, you won't get a bite on perch, but you'll catch them on shad. I always keep a variety of baits. Always check your equipment before you ever start fishing. There's nothing worse than losing a fish and then realizing it was because you had a bad spot in your line, or it was the one reel you didn't bother to change the hooks on. Well, the biggest thing, like for me, when I'm fishing a tournament, I usually have a plan. I make the plan before I get to the lake. I have an idea of what I'm going to try to do, and I will try it and I will work it out the whole day long. Most of the times I'll stick with it until, I mean, there's a point where you have to say, okay, this just absolutely is not working. And you gotta, I mean, it sounds like I'm saying the same thing twice, two totally different ways, but you gotta make a plan, stick with your plan, have confidence in your plan. If you have no confidence in drift fishing and you go out there and you're not catching any fish drift fishing the first 30 minutes, your mind's gonna be like, this sucks, it don't work, let me get out of here. But if you like to drift fish and you're out there, you may give it 2 or 3 hours before you say, okay, that's it, I give up on it. But stick with what you're used to. If you're not used to drifting, don't go out there because everybody says I'm catching all my fish drifting. Don't go out there with the expectation that you're going to wear them out drifting if you're not used to it. But hey, give it a try. You never know, it might work, but don't let it get too discouraged. Be willing to change. If you like anchoring, anchor. Stick with it.
Now, for a lot of you guys, your first tournament may be on the boat with somebody else. You may be fishing as a guest on somebody else's boat. And when you do that, there's some things to do and some things not to do. And I asked Jeff his opinion on some things to keep in mind when you show up to fish on someone else's boat.
Yeah, less is more. Bring what you absolutely have to have. Most time on my boat, I've got everything you could possibly need to catch a fish. So just bring your bear, bring you something to drink if you want something to drink. Ask the captain, whoever owns the boat, ask them if they need anything. If they need drinks or ice, you know, it's kind of considered to just bringing them something too. It actually feels like a decent fish.
It's got a little bit of bend to it there.
Yeah.
Put that one in orbit, man. It's way out there.
Yeah, I did. I tried to throw it over in Mecklenburg County. Figured it wasn't nothing biting in Gaston.
That fish realizes he's coming to the boat because he's going that way. See a net?
Hey, that's a pretty little roll. Look at that.
Is he gonna net? Is he? Oh, good. Well, that's a start.
I ain't saying a whole lot.
Yeah. You walk backwards. Shit.
Look at that. Look at that.
Turn.
There he is.
All right, guys, we're down to about our last 5 minutes, and we caught a fish. But he's not big enough.
He's not big. He's about like what we got. But it's a fish covered in mud. Well, come here.
Oh, these fish are cold.
Pretty little fish, though. All right, goodbye.
Well, in the end, we caught a lot of fish. We had a good time, but we didn't have anything to win on that particular day. And that's the way it goes, tournament fishing, guys. Keep that in mind when you're out there. If you're new to tournament fishing, especially when you're fishing in some of the bigger tournaments, some of the bigger series, there's a lot of good fishermen out there. But keep at it, keep learning, keep growing, stay dedicated, put in the time on the water, and as your skills grow, sooner or later, luck will be on your side. Well, folks, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, and here are a couple of more videos that I think you're going to like.